Hello, everybody. Just a quick little let you know about it. I've gone ahead and broken out a new phase of, or stage, whatever you want to call it, of the Skill Stack Beginner Boost, which I was playing around with before, but has kind of materialized at this point. So here it is. If you look in the overview, you scroll down. So we have added the start, which is more about getting a job and what is the strategy of getting a job and finding out what you have to learn and everything. Very, very important stuff. Please don't skip that. And then we broke out the basic stuff, and that is what I'm going to show you here in just a second. So it's, what are basic computer skills? What does it even mean? The reason that we need to break out a stage here for this, and the reason that I haven't done it in the past, is because this material is largely assumed that you already know it. And I do want to tell a story about this. So I was teaching private school coding camp, an after-school coding camp, about 45 people at a private school, and none of them could install software on their computers. They all had different computers. Some was Windows, some was Mac, and then some of them had admin access so they could do the installation. Some couldn't. Some had to ask their mom and dad to do it for them. It was a mess. And I realized that most adults have already covered this base. It is interesting to note that when I actually did help out at the community college for a while, when I was, mentoring there, that so many of the people that were coming to the labs in the community college had never even used a computer. Like, I know that seems interesting to say, but there is still a huge digital divide in America, and there are still people in America who do not have a computer, and they do not know how to operate them. It's less and less a thing, but it is still a thing. So breaking out these skills and knowing how to use a computer and how the internet works, how to install a browser, how to install software safely, how to deal with viruses, how to not get owned at a basic level as just a general computer user. These are all really essential skills, and you may be one of the lucky ones who was raised by a family that gave you free reign on the family PC and let you install, and they re-imaged every once in a while, which we'll do a video about that. What is the best strategy for helping somebody learn these skills at a young age, and how do you give them the motivation and the sort of reign that they need to be able to mess around and explore safely on the computer. But so when I talk about basic computer skills, this is what we're really talking about, and I'm just going to summarize it really quickly. We're talking about learning how to type. We're talking about purchasing a computer, knowing what computer to get, whether to get a Mac or a Linux machine. A Mac or a Linux machine, or but in this case mostly a Mac or a Windows machine. Why you might want one or the other, that sort of question. If you're just getting into tech, you may not even know the right answer there. So. And then stuff like, how do you install software on Windows? How do you install software on a Mac safely? What are the different methods of that? How do you use the internet? What is the internet? Is the web the internet? I mean, these are questions that people literally don't know the answers to. So I know a lot of you watching this video are like, why is he even doing this video? But it's super important that you have this handle. Understanding your developer editor options. I do think knowing how to edit files on your computer, whether it's simple text, Notepad, or VS Code, which I think everybody should know how to install, that becomes an issue, right? Because you've got to be able to edit files without knowing anything else, any of the fancy terminal stuff that we're going to learn later. Creative, Proton Mail accounts, Gmail, where do you go for email? Why do you go there for email? We already talked about how the internet works. How does mail work? How does it get shipped around? How do web pages actually work? And that kind of thing. How do I take notes reliably and safely that can be backed up? How do I back up my computer? How do I develop search-centric habits like Alt-Tab? Do you know how to do Alt-Tab? Have you ever seen it before? You know how many people don't? How about the Spotlight bar? Knowing how to use the Spotlight bar to save your time. These are all skills that involve basic computer usage, which are not taught anywhere. They may be taught in some school systems and in some community college, but they're generally not taught. Leverage AI assistance, that's a new thing. Being able to ask ChatGPT online or on the computer to help you out. These are things that we, more and more are being assumed as basic computer skills. So that change, that has been broken out. I'm not going to be able to cover all this material anymore because we've already moved past it. We're going to try to stay on the schedule, which has us doing websites, creating basic website stuff for another week or two. So we're going to be doing all of that stuff. But please be sure to check back if you want to see the videos that are being made there. Where are those videos made? The videos are made during morning boost time when I feel like it. That's when we're going to be making them. But other than that, we're going to be trying to catch up as many videos as we can during the Beginner Boost radio time on Saturdays, and we're going to continue to dedicate that 4-hour block making these kind of videos. So that will hopefully catch you up with where we are, and I will link this video from the opening page of the Beginner Boost so people can know why it's changed, perhaps. And that's all.